From the buzzing courts of Atlanta, where legends are whispered in every dribble, emerged a force destined to redefine greatness. Anthony Edwards, a prodigy who turned playground dreams into spectacular reality. From dominating Georgia's high school leagues to electrifying the collegiate hardwood at the University of Georgia, where he scorched nets and shattered expectations. With the crowd fueling his every step, Ant-Man leapt into the stratosphere of the basketball elite, selected number 1 in the NBA draft, and leading the Timberwolves from a sorry franchise for decades into one of the best teams in the Western Conference. It seems like every single game Ant-Man is getting better, and his path only leads one way: NBA MVP, NBA championship, or it all. This is Anthony Edwards, not just a player, but a phenom, rewriting the future of basketball one electrifying play at a time. This is the story of Anthony Edwards, the NBA's new rising star. It wasn't always glamorous for Anthony Edwards, and to truly understand his story, we must take it back to the streets of Atlanta, where his Georgia roots and his upbringing from his family made him into the player that he is today.
When I was like 12, we started going to the park up the street from the crib. You know, that made me tough because we was playing against grown men all day, every day for 3-4 hours straight. So I think that was the best thing I could have did. I remember this one time going to the park with my brother and I watched him dunk the ball. And I saw how excited he was to dunk it, and I always wanted to be like him. So I start, taking basketball a little more serious.
He started off his high school career at Thurell High School in Atlanta, where he displayed exceptional scoring and athletic ability from freshman year. He was known for leading scorers, often being the top point getter in the game. He played here for 2 seasons. Before his junior year, he transferred to Holy Spirit Prep School.
I used to wake up in the morning and go to the gym and work out with our basketball coach when we went to high school together, but some mornings I didn't go. And him just trying to wake me up, I can see like he wanted me to be better than what I was, and I think him he pushes me, man, and it's dope to have a brother like that.
It was at his new school where he really started to excel in a more competitive environment.
I was in like 10th grade, and it was all the top guys in the world there, and I was leading scorer in the camp. And that's when I realized, like, okay, I can be pretty good.
And he was pretty good. His junior year, he averaged over 25 points a game. And this landed him as a top national recruit, attracting interest and scout attention across the country. His senior year increased his scoring average by more than 5 points to over 30 per game. And he was known for game-winning plays, high-scoring performances, and demonstrating a mix of power, speed, and shooting accuracy. This earned Anthony McDonald's All-American honors, and ranked as a top national prospect, Anthony decided to stay home and attend the University of Georgia. He only played 1 season at the University of Georgia, but established himself as a standout player immediately. He averaged 19.1 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and 1.3 steals. Not to mention, he put his performances on the national stage, scoring 37 points against Michigan State in the Maui Invitational. His persona brought national attention to Georgia's basketball program for the first time in a long time, and despite the personal success, Georgia had a mixed season, finishing with a 16-16 record. He was named to the SEC All-Freshman team and earned second-team All-SEC honors, and throughout the season he was a consensus top 5 pick in NBA mock drafts.
First pick in the 2020 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Anthony Edwards from the University of Georgia.
The Timberwolves management expressed their enthusiasm for adding a player of Edwards' talent to their roster.
Man, being a number 1 pick was dope. My family was super happy for me. We've been through a lot, a lot of ups and downs. And I mean, that was dope. It was a great experience.
With dynamic scoring ability, athleticism, and potential impact on the team's performance, they wanted to pair him alongside other young talents like Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell and build a core for the next chapter of Minnesota basketball. The rookie season, the Timberwolves fans got a glimpse of what Anthony Edwards could be. He averaged 19 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal, but he had a few standout performances, including 42 points against the Phoenix Suns, becoming the 3rd youngest player in NBA history to score 40 plus in a game. He ended up being 2nd in Rookie of the Year voting and was named to the All-Rookie First Team. During his 2nd season, Anthony Edwards saw progression in all areas, jumping up to 21.3 points per game, 4.8 rebounds per game, 3.8 assists, and 1.5 steals. He saw consistent scoring development in playmaking and defensive contributions. He recorded a new career high of 48 points against the Golden State Warriors and played a key role in helping the Timberwolves reach the playoffs for the first time since 2018, showing growth in leadership and on-court impact. But it was his 3rd season in the NBA, the 2022-2023 season, that marked a significant step forward in his development and stature within the league as one of the stars. This season marked a significant shift in his role and impact on the Minnesota Timberwolves, as he found himself as the foundational piece and earned accolades that recognized his impact on the court. This season he averaged 24.6 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, and 4.4 assists. His shooting percentages saw an improvement, shooting 46% from the field and 36% from the three. He had a few standout games that showcased his individual talent, including November 13th, 2022, where he dropped 42, 5, and 7 against the Cleveland Cavaliers, leading them to a victory. He put up 29, 10, and 5 in a win against the number 1 in the West, Denver Nuggets. And against the Warriors, he put up 47, 5, and 4. This all led him to become an All-Star for the very first time.
We actually were able to add 2 All-Stars this year. The league called Anthony Edwards.
This highlighted Edwards' ability to score at high volumes, improving his skills as a playmaker and his capacity to perform in clutch situations, which propelled him to his first All-Star appearance.
I want to have the best shoe in the world. I want to be the best player in the world. I want to be the best player and wear the best shoe.
During the offseason, Ant played on Team USA in the FIBA World Cup, where he led Team USA in scoring, averaging 19 points per game. They didn't end up winning, which was a letdown for everybody, but it really changed his perspective and let him be the star of a team. This momentum carried on into the 2023-2024 season. Anthony Edwards upped his points per game again to 25.2, 6.1 rebounds, almost 5 assists, and almost 2 steals per game. And I think this season has kind of changed the perspective on Anthony Edwards as a star. He's now viewed as a franchise player with the potential to lead his team deep into the playoffs. He was named for an NBA All-Star for a 2nd consecutive year, affirming his status amongst the elite players in the NBA. Not to mention, going into the final game of the NBA season, the Timberwolves are hunting for the number 1 seed, tied with the OKC Thunder and the Denver Nuggets. This has led Anthony Edwards to at least enter the discussions for the MVP award due to his all-around contributions to the Timberwolves, highlighting his ascent into the upper echelon of NBA talent. On top of all of this, in a game against the Washington Wizards, Anthony Edwards dropped his career high, surpassing the 50-point mark with 51 points. As the NBA's 2023-2024 season winds to a thrilling close, all eyes are on Anthony Edwards, the dynamic guard whose meteoric rise has sparked a resurgence for the Minnesota Timberwolves. The stage is set, the lights are bright, and Anthony Edwards is ready to lead the charge. Watch out, NBA playoffs. A storm named Anthony Edwards is coming. It's about to electrify the NBA world. And the scariest part is this man is only gonna get better.
I mean, I've always been like this, man. Since I was a kid, I always smiled. I always had this personality that everyone likes, and I always stuck with it. Never wanted to change. I'm always happy. I'm not gonna let anything make me too mad. I'm always gonna stay the same person throughout everything.
Yeah, you've been dancing with the devil. Be careful who you gunning for, cause when it settles, it's only pain and grief when you living lawless. We only chase it if the chance of profit's flawless. We keep our eyes on the weak, they know that they targets. Hunting for goodwill, we ain't looking for bargains. And you should say a prayer, ain't nobody praying for you. Cause if I want it, then it's mine, that's what I'm saying to you.
And slamming! Anthony Edwards skies!
McDaniels,
No! Climbs the ladder to the rim!
I don't think this is going to be the end of the story of Anthony Edwards.